Hey everybody, it's your boy Beardo. There's been some YouTube beef coming across my feed lately, so I decided to investigate.
Okay, the latest salvo in this YouTube beef seems to revolve around these two videos. We have how to tell if a girl is interested in you, 6 core behavioral patterns, published to YouTube 2 years ago, 272,000 views. And this video, 6 signs a woman is into you, behaviors from evolutionary psychology, published 23 hours ago with 7,000 views. Let's dig into it.
6 behavioral categories that let you know a girl is interested in you.
Okay.
I'm going to break it down into 6 different categories, and underneath each of those
Okay. 6 categories. Okay, so we're agreed 6 behaviors.
the first category is hyper-feminized behavior. Now, what do I mean by this?
Okay. Hyper feminized. What does she mean by this?
All right, so the first category of behaviors I'm going to talk about is exaggerated hyper-feminine behaviors. Okay?
Okay. Okay, first example of hyper feminine behavior.
Okay, so they're going to be fake smiling. All right, I really find it disturbing that guys do not know when girls are fake smiling versus real smiling.
Okay.
Ever been around a girl and she's kind of giving you the smirk or the fake smile?
All right, more agreement. Next, hyper feminine behavior.
Another thing is where she's kind of talking softly. I know I used to do this, and I'm kind of embarrassed to admit it because until I started doing some of this research, I didn't realize I was doing it. But when a woman kind of starts to talk a little differently, or she'll pick up the phone and she'll kind of give you that giddy little hi or hello, kind of that hyper feminized voice. Yeah, that's actually something that we do when we like you. Another
Okay. So she did a lot of research. I wonder what research she did. Let's see.
Okay, they'll be talking in a high, soft, or whiny hyper-feminine voice. So another thing guys don't know, girls fake this voice all the time. Just like when guys lower their voice in the presence of other guys, something I have observed a lot, girls will raise their voice to seem more feminine than other girls and to kind of place themselves like higher in the hierarchy than them. So if they want a guy to like them, they're going to play up their hyper-feminine traits 100%. Oh, really? You like that? And everything? And just do a super fake, in my opinion, but effective hyper-feminine voice.
Very good. Okay, third example of hyperfemininity.
Thing they will do, another hyper-feminine behavior, pretending to be weaker than they are. Oh my god, this is so heavy, I can't lift this, can you help me? That kind of thing, right? They might be like perfectly capable of doing things themselves, but they know that them acting weak is going to make you feel strong. Very, very effective, oldest trick in the book, so they are going to act like they are literally cannot lift a finger because they want you to feel super strong.
Cannot lift a finger.
what we do is pretending to be kind of the weaker sex. Oh, having you, oh, there's an ant or there's a cockroach. Can you kill the cockroach for me? Or she'll give you that jar, right? Hey, honey, can you open this jar for me? You're so strong. I can't do it.
Here comes the fourth example of hyper feminine behavior. I hope you guys can see the timestamps here. I'm not like jumping around. At least you should be able to see this bar, right?
Yeah, they're also going to be pretending to be slightly dumber or more clueless than they actually are, okay? A lot of times girls fully capable of figuring something out, making a plan, doing all the masculine stuff, but they purposely are like, oh, this is confusing, I don't get it. Can you explain this to me? Or, I don't get math or whatever. Okay, it's fake.
Those tricky females.
She might also pretend to be kind of dumb or clueless around you and have you try and figure something else out because she wants to elevate your manhood. She wants to bolster your ego. So she might...
No self-respecting man would ever play dumb. All right, let's continue.
Laughing at your jokes. They will be like, oh, you're so funny. They might not think it's funny enough, but they know that is a weak spot for guys wanting to be funny. So these are all the hyper-feminine behaviors, kind of like imagine like, you're blonde, bimbo, like playboy, funny, all-American cheerleader behaviors that girls will really play up to let guys know they're sexually interested.
Okay, all right, closing out the category. All right, category 1 is down. Hyper feminine behaviors. Let's move on to category 2.
So the next category are what I like to call the Virgin Mary behaviors.
Okay. Next category is something she likes to call the Virgin Mary behaviors.
Next category of behaviors I'm going to be talking about is virginal behaviors.
Okay, how about some examples of virginal behavior?
They'll pretend to be classy, virginal, and not interested in sex. Not that interested in sex, like, oh no, I'm not really that kind of girl. Like I never do this. I'm the kind of girl who is more like a one man kind of woman. My heart is not capable of loving more than one man. Oh yeah, I'm sex positive and stuff, but for me, I don't sleep around. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Going to be kind of laid back. She's going to kind of hold back when it comes to talking about her past or talking about sexual things, because she just really wants you to think that you are the only man that can see her in this light. She doesn't want to be perceived to be promiscuous by you. And she might.
All right, give us another example of virginal behavior, please.
And number 2 behavior I have here is pretending they don't want to have sex with you when they're dating you for a long time. I want to take it slow. This is because if they really like you and they're really interested in you, basically every bit of dating advice for girls is do not sleep with him for as long as possible, because he'll be more likely to commit, more likely to see you as the kind of girl he can take home to mom, and stuff like that. So kind of paradoxically, if she really likes you, she will probably be less likely to sleep with you because she wants you to see her as, a good girl, not a bad girl. So one night stand. She wants you to see her as like wife material, and she wants to lock you down as her boyfriend.
Might also make you wait a little bit longer, pretending that, it's been a long time for her, that she hasn't really, engaged in anything with another man for a long time. And, that you might perceive them to be a little bit harder to get. And men will perceive that as rejection. Men will perceive that as, oh, well, she's clearly not going to be as more innocent than I would like. But this is all about that Madonna whore aspect. Women know that men like that. And so those are the behaviors they are going to try and portray to you. So that's why you have to go slow when talking about these conversations. And that's why it's good to know that women are typically little freaks underneath it all, but they're not going to show it to you, especially early on, if they really like you. So
Okay, if they really like you, they're not going to sleep with you. Third virginal behavior, ladies, if you please.
So the next group of behaviors I have is simulating competition behaviors. So this is the basis for basically all dating advice for women. It is playing hard to get, pretending to be busy all the time. So if she's really interested in you, again, paradoxically, she may be less likely to respond to your text messages because she's pretending to be busy. She's pretending, oh yeah, I got tons of guys competing for my time and attention, And obviously that makes you feel, oh my gosh, she's like super popular. Wow, she must be super high value, and I'm really interested now.
So the third category, and one category that I don't think you're going to like, but it is the truth, it is all about competing strategic behaviors. So what does that mean? This might look like her pretending to be busy and playing games with text messaging. I know, it is ridiculous and it's so dumb, but if a woman is available to you all the time, she might think in her head that you don't think that she has a lot of options. Same thing goes for men. I think it's crap, I think it sucks. I think after a while, as you kind of age out of this, after about 35, this is all kind of dumb. But I do know that women in their 20s are fed this lie that they have to appear to be busier than they really are. Because
Interesting. Okay, we're in the third category, simulating competition. All right, example 2 of this category.
Another behavior like this could be her kind of like mentioning other guys to make you jealous. If she's interested in you, she might do this because girls aren't dumb. They know that competition spurs the heart of every man. So they use it to their advantage. And if they like you, they will use it. Next one is kind of...
By the way, you can see all this stuff in Archie Comics.
it does in you is it actually elicits male competitive behaviors. It actually elicits you to think, what is she doing? Who else is she talking to? I mean, some men not, but a lot of men want to be the one that catches the lion that's chasing, that's running away. So she knows that, and she knows how to elicit that competitive strategy with you. So if you think that she's talking to other guys, or if you think that she's, out on a Friday night, there's a lot of men who will be intrigued by that. There's a lot of men that actually get turned on by that, unfortunately. So they're just kind of rewarding the behavior that they see.
Behavior number 4, if you please.
Next one is kind of funny. Proximity behaviors. This is one I had instinctually as a very, very young girl. I always had this sixth sense. If I had a crush on a boy, I always knew what he was doing, knew what he was thinking, was strategizing, and I would always try to sit next to him at lunch or just playing his Foursquare game. And so if a girl really likes you, she may show up unexpectedly, at the place you go for coffee every day. And it's just like, oh my God, like, imagine running into you here. You're going to think it's total coincidence. It wasn't.
Reminds me of the Taylor Swift song Mastermind. Check it out if you haven't listened to it, or at least the lyrics.
Number 4 are behaviors of proximity. So she's going to want to be close to you. As you are out in public, and let's say there's a woman who catches your attention and you catch hers or vice versa, you're going to notice that her group of friends or her or whomever starts to move into your proximity. She wants you to approach her, but she wants to be in your line of sight. She might move her body language towards you. She might look at you a certain way. She might look away, but she will eventually start to get closer to you. This is also on a date. If you're out on a date with a woman and you might sense that she's on the other side of the table. When she comes back from the bathroom, she might place herself in a different position where she is closer to you, or she's walking on the street with you. Does she kind of bump your arm?
Okay. Let's leave it at that. She'll always find ways to just bump into you or just be around you.
Bump into
she
you.
is interested.
Category 5.
Next one is submissive behaviors. This is a big one, guys. Faking multiple orgasms. If she sleeps with you and she is really into you, she may tell you she has had 50 to 100 orgasms. I have seen this myself. It is really annoying. They fake their orgasms because they're so desperate to just please you. And they want you to like them so bad, they're so interested in you, that they're telling you, oh my god, I'm coming. They're not coming, guys. Girls, okay, it's very, very, very rare that someone can have like 100 orgasms in a row. So many guys I've met say, oh, this girl, she came with me like 50 times. I'm like, she didn't. But trust me, as a girl, I know there's enormous pressure to...
Most people...
Ad. Okay.
Are that women will display physical submissive features. That might include faking an O to bolster your ego. Now, she may not do this all the time, but sometimes there are benefits to, I know that you guys may not like it, but women understand also that, look, guys, unless you've dated a man and unless you know what it's like to date a man, men can tend to have pretty fragile egos. So women will sometimes fake an O in order to appear to be more submissive to a man.
Yikes. Next, submissive behavior, if you please.
Another submissive behavior is just submissive body language. This one is truly natural. This is not put on. This is just the animal of your body reacting like a wild animal to, dominant behaviors. And so this is very subtle, but you will see it kind of like in the twisting of her body, accentuating the curves of her body. You'll see it in her face, and it kind of goes like numb a bit, or like paralyzed, or she'll blush or get embarrassed. It could be different for every woman, but look out for these submissive behaviors. They are instinctual, kind of like micro expressions and stuff.
Okay.
There's also, if you haven't slept with her, there's also submissive body language that you might pick up from her as well. She might tilt her head and look at you. She might place her hand on her chin. She might do this. She might do this. She might play with her hair. There's some dainty some feminine body language, like crossing her legs, putting her hands over her legs and then kind of shrugging her shoulders a little bit. Now, in men, that behavior and that...
Okay, the final of our 6 behaviors.
And then finally, my boyfriend actually told me to add this one, emotional closeness.
Sounds like a smart
behaviors,
guy.
as I call it. So he was saying, like, a lot of guys think that if a girl wants to be friends with you and she's acting really friendly towards you, you might think that she's friends with you. No, if a girl is interested in you, she will definitely want to talk with you on the phone for a long period of time. And she will act like she wants to be friends. She will be really interested in what you're saying because, she likes you for a reason. And it doesn't mean that she's friend-zoned you. Until she has friend-zoned you, she hasn't friend-zoned you. So that's pretty circular there.
Sounds like her boyfriend said, until she has friend-zoned you, she hasn't friend-zoned you. And Victoria didn't like the circular nature of that argument. But all right, let's see what
Number
our friends
6
here
are displays of emotional closeness behaviors. So she might want to talk on the phone for an hour or two. If a woman is talking to you on the phone at night before she goes to bed, you pretty much have as green of a light as you can get.
Okay, this is really too much. Now, you probably already know, I've just been, playing dumb, tongue-in-cheek, going along with this idea that these two are like coming up with independent ideas. But if you actually look at the description of this original video by Victoria, you can almost see identical to the outline that I made here from watching these videos. See, wearing sexier clothes around you is one that I either missed or didn't appear in the videos. Okay, so this woman is ripping off 5 of Victoria's how to tell if a girl is interested behaviors, and one of mine, which is really beyond the pale. Close us out, Victoria.
And I'm sure under each category, there's many more ideas a girl could come up with to seduce you.
Are you sure? Are you sure there are many more ideas that a girl could come up with? here's what I would like to say. And I'm not the greatest spokesperson for these issues, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. There's been some discussion, about what can be done, right? And we just know that intellectual property laws, copyright, and that kind of stuff just can't cover a case like this. Very unlikely that Victoria could take Sarah to court and get some money or whatever. It's possible YouTube might take down the copycat video, but it's clear that there's something in the hearts of humans that wants to reward original thought, creators, and there's something in our hearts that doesn't want to reward, copycats and plagiarizers, people that take and don't give credit where credit is due. So we have on one hand, the systems are not able to, cover this case, and probably should not. And we have on the other hand, our desire to reward originality. The desire to reward originality is what kind of inspires the copyright laws in the first place. But in the case where these systems don't match up with our desires, it's our ability, our purview, if you will, some might even say responsibility, as humans, as autonomous beings, to act in a voluntary way to make this desire a reality, right? So, speaking specifically in this case, we can through voluntary action, reward the original thought, the creativity, and not reward the plagiarism. And in this way, we could, in some small way, create a world where this person, Sarah, it's unclear to me, to take a step back, it's unclear to me why she thinks that it's in her best interest to make a copycat video and give no credit where credit is due, right? She, in my opinion, she'd be better off referencing the original video, putting her own spin on it, adding something to it perhaps. But apparently she doesn't see it that way, right? So again, us as voluntary actors, we can make a world, at least to some small extent, where in a similar situation in the future, someone will decide in their own best interest, hey, I'm not going to be rewarded for plagiarizing here. It'll be in my own best interest to give credit where credit is due and add something rather than trying to take something. So I'm not sure if that's clear, but those are my ideas, that we can use voluntary action to get the kind of outcomes that the systems, intellectual property and stuff, cannot give us. Again, on a personal nature, I'm not at all impartial. Victoria is my girlfriend. She's my life partner. I love her more than I ever thought I could love anybody. And this upsets her, right? And I've said to her the same kinds of things that I see a lot of guys in the comments say, which is this is probably a good thing. It's probably going to bring more attention to your channel. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and those kinds of things. And I think all those things are true. But also, it upsets her. It feels like a violation for her original content that she takes. She spends an unbelievable amount of time thinking these things through before she makes the videos. I know the post-production on her videos is very low, but believe me, the pre-production is very high. So I understand why she would be hurt by that and why it would be upsetting, in addition to the more nuts and bolts things that a lot of the guys in the comments are saying. which are both true. Okay, that's all I have to say. This is Beardo signing out.